My sister stole every guy I dated for years, so I introduced her to someone who destroyed her life. Honestly, I did you a favor, Diane said, sitting up in Connor's bed. My bed. Our bed. She was completely naked, shameless. Gathering her clothes from the floor like this was routine, like this was normal. He barely lasted 10 minutes. You deserve better, sis. Connor, my boyfriend of 8 months, the one I'd kept secret from my family, the one I'd hidden like treasure, just shrugged from under the sheets. Your sister's way too hot for me not to try. You understand, right? I stood there in the doorway of Connor's apartment. The apartment I had a key to. The apartment where I'd stayed 3 nights a week. Trembling, unable to speak, unable to move. Diane kissed him goodbye. Long kiss. Performative, making sure I saw. Then walked past me like I was invisible. See you at Mom's on Sunday, she said. Smiled. Actually smiled. That moment, standing there in that doorway, watching my sister destroy my life again, crystallized everything. Diane didn't steal my boyfriends out of jealousy or attraction or even competition. She did it because she could, because destroying my happiness had become her twisted hobby, her sport, her entertainment, and I was done playing. I was cursed with a built-in boyfriend thief the day my younger sister Diane was born 28 years ago. And I'm not talking about borrowed sweaters or innocent crushes or teenage drama. I mean the kind of systematic, deliberate theft where if I brought home a boyfriend, any boyfriend, she'd have him wrapped around her finger within weeks. Everyone always said Diane got Mom's stunning looks while I inherited Dad's sharp wit and practical nature. The comparison stung growing up, but I learned to live with it, learned to accept being the smart one, the responsible one, the plain one, until the boyfriend stealing started. Then it became unbearable. It began in high school. My boyfriend Trevor, sweet, awkward Trevor from AP Calculus, suddenly wanted to study at our house every afternoon instead of the library. Diane would float by in her cheer uniform, all blonde hair and tan legs and perfect smile. Trevor, can you help me with my math homework? I'm so confused and you're so smart. By junior year, Trevor was dating Diane. By senior year, I'd learned my lesson, but it didn't stop. It got worse. By the time we hit our 20s, Diane's tactics became surgical, precise, calculated. I dated Cameron for 6 months before bringing him to meet the family. Big mistake. Huge mistake. 1 week after that Sunday dinner, Diane had a crisis at 2 a.m. Needed his shoulder to cry on. Some dramatic ex-boyfriend situation. Some fake emergency. They slept together that same night. Cameron confessed 3 days later. I'm so sorry. It just happened. She was vulnerable. I was there. It didn't mean anything, but it meant everything to me. Then came Marcus from my marketing agency. Same playbook. Family dinner. Fake emergency 2 weeks later. Midnight comfort session. When I discovered their texts, when I saw the screenshots accidentally forwarded to me, she smiled sweetly. I'm just making sure they're worthy of you, Laurel, she said, voice dripping with fake concern. Marcus failed the test. You should thank me. Then came Derek, the one who nearly broke me completely. We'd been together for 2 years, talking seriously about marriage, ring shopping, planning our future. I thought he was different, thought he was immune, thought he actually loved me. Diane got drunk at his birthday party, the party I'd planned, the party I'd paid for, and kissed him right in front of everyone, right in front of me, right in front of 50 guests. When he chose her over me, when he actually chose her, she posted on Facebook, sometimes you can't help who you fall for. Sorry, not sorry. Mom cornered me at Thanksgiving that year, actually cornered me in the kitchen. You need to stop parading these men in front of Diane, she hissed. She can't control herself when there's a good-looking man around. Why do you keep setting her up to fail? Why are you so thoughtless? Setting her up to fail, like I was the problem, like I was sabotaging my own relationships to hurt my sister. 3 months later, I met Connor at my college roommate's wedding. Everything I'd ever dreamed of. Kind, successful, stable, apparently immune to female manipulation. This time, I was smart. This time, I was careful. This time, I kept him completely secret from my family. For 8 blissful months, Connor didn't exist to them. We drove to neighboring towns for dates, avoided posting photos on social media, used burner accounts when we needed to tag each other. I told absolutely no one about him. Not Mom, not Diane, not even my closest friends. It was perfect. It was safe. It was mine. But then my cousin Amanda, well-meaning, clueless Amanda, accidentally mentioned Connor to Mom at a family barbecue. Some comment about seeing me at a restaurant with a really handsome guy. Mom called me that night. Who's Connor? Why are you hiding him? Are you ashamed of us? I lied. Said he was just a friend. Said Amanda was confused. Said it was nothing serious. But Mom told Diane within hours. Of course she did. Mom told Diane everything. My sister tracked him down through his company's website within days. Found his LinkedIn. Found his Facebook. Found everything. And then she made her move. I used my key to enter Connor's apartment that Tuesday evening. Had texted him I was coming over. He'd said great. He'd order takeout. But I heard voices upstairs. Laughter. Her laughter. That distinctive, practiced laugh she used when she was seducing someone. I walked upstairs quietly. The bedroom door was open. They hadn't even bothered to close it. That's when I saw them, tangled together in our bed. The bed where I'd slept 3 nights a week for 8 months. The bed where Connor had told me he loved me. The bed where we'd planned our future. And that's when Diane said it. When she destroyed me one final time. time. Walking to my car after, hands shaking, vision blurred with tears, I made a decision that would change everything. I spent the next 3 weeks in research mode, deep research mode, public records, background check websites, court filings, police reports, Reddit threads, everything. That's how I discovered Vincent Romano. Stunningly handsome, 6'2", dark hair, expensive suits, claimed to be a venture capitalist specializing in tech startups. Recently divorced after his ex-wife Melissa documented years of escalating abuse in court filings. 2 restraining orders from other ex-girlfriends. Currently under investigation by the SEC for securities fraud. Multiple lawsuits from defrauded investors. His pattern was clear. Target beautiful, successful women, love bomb them, isolate them, control them, drain their bank accounts, destroy their credit, disappear when they had nothing left. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I created a fake LinkedIn profile, changed my photos, changed my bio, made myself look vulnerable and wealthy. I reached out to him, casual message, asked about his venture capital firm, said I was interested in investing. We met at a Starbucks in downtown Chicago. I played the role of vulnerable older sister perfectly, showed him Diane's Instagram photos, all 60,000 followers worth. I just can't compete with her, I said, letting my voice crack authentically. Every guy I've ever loved ends up choosing her instead. She's beautiful and charismatic and I'm just ordinary. Vincent's eyes lit up like a predator spotting wounded prey. Any man who would leave you for anyone is an idiot, he said, touching my hand, staring into my eyes, playing his part perfectly. You're stunning, intelligent, successful. Your sister must be threatened by you. We started dating. He love-bombed me exactly as predicted. Expensive dinners at the best restaurants, weekend trips to Michigan wine country, flowers delivered to my office, promises of a future together, everything textbook, everything calculated. After 3 weeks of this performance, I invited him to Mom's birthday dinner, knowing exactly what would happen, counting on it. At dinner, Vincent played his role perfectly, treated Diane like she was invisible while showering me with attention, complimenting my dress, touching my arm, laughing at my jokes, publicly adoring me. But Diane couldn't stand being ignored, couldn't tolerate not being the center of attention, couldn't resist a handsome, successful man who wasn't interested in her. She touched Vincent's arm, leaned too close, whispered inside jokes, laughed too loud, wore her lowest cut dress, used every weapon in her arsenal. I excused myself to the bathroom halfway through dessert, watched from the hallway as Diane moved in for the kill. My sister's sweet, she whispered to Vincent, close, intimate, but she's pretty vanilla, if you know what I mean. I could show you things she wouldn't even dream of. When I returned and caught them exchanging phone numbers, I threw my wine in Vincent's face, burst into tears, ran out sobbing. Oscar-worthy performance, Diane called that night, voice dripping with fake sympathy. Vincent totally came on to me, Laurel, like super aggressive. But honestly, you're way better off without him. He seemed unstable. Thanks, I said flatly. Thanks for saving me again. Within 2 days, she was posting Instagram stories from his luxury downtown condo. Within a week, she'd fallen in love, posted about her amazing new boyfriend. Within a month, she'd moved in completely and given him access to her bank accounts. I watched it all unfold. Every post, every story, every update. Satisfaction mixed with something darker, something that felt like justice. The first crack appeared 6 weeks later. A lawyer representing Vincent's ex-wife, Melissa, contacted Diane. Vincent had hidden significant assets during his divorce. Assets Diane was now helping him conceal. She could be held liable as an accomplice to fraud. Diane called me panicking. I didn't answer. Next came the revelation that Vincent's venture capital firm was actually a sophisticated Ponzi scheme. Diane had invested her entire savings, $30,000, thinking she'd double her money within a year. When the SEC shut down his operation, her money vanished overnight. Gone. Irretrievable. When Diane tried to leave after discovering more lies, when she tried to pack her things and escape, Vincent showed his true colors, grabbed her wrist hard enough to leave bruises, locked her in the bedroom while he raged, threatened her, controlled her. When she finally escaped 3 days later, she discovered he'd emptied all her accounts, used her personal information to apply for credit cards in her name, $80,000 in debt she never knew existed. The final blow came when FBI agents broke down Vincent's door at dawn, found Diane's signature on dozens of fraudulent investment documents, making her an unwitting accomplice to securities fraud and money laundering. My phone rang at 6:47 a.m., Diane's name flashing. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was barely coherent through sobs. Laurel, please, I'm in county jail. They're saying I might go to prison. Vincent used me. He set me up. Please, I'm begging you. I need help. I need a lawyer. Please. I listened to it 3 times, then deleted it. Diane pleaded guilty to lesser charges in exchange for testifying against Vincent. Faced a choice: 2 years in federal prison or 8 months with full cooperation. She chose cooperation, served 8 months, emerged with a felony record, destroyed credit, no savings, and nothing left. Mom called me hysterical after the sentencing. You have to help your sister. This is destroying her. She made mistakes mistakes, but she's family. She made her own choices, I replied calmly. Just like she did with Trevor, Cameron, Marcus, Derek, and Connor. Long silence, heavy silence. Then Mom whispered, "You knew, didn't you? You knew what he was." I didn't answer, just hung up, blocked her number. Because the truth was too complicated for a simple yes or no.